Hello, thank you for joining. So I got something in the mail today and I'm very excited because I think I know what it is, simply because of the country it came from. It had a nice little paper somewhere that I ripped out here before I realized where it was coming from. So this is an unboxing video. I haven't done one of these in ages, so yeah. But I'm gonna take out my nice and trusty little knife. So for those of you who care about knives, I only own, well, two now. One's a whale to sharpen pencils with, which I shared recently. Otherwise, in France, we have these Corsican knives called Duk Duk, and this is mine because it's tiny, so I'm less likely to get hurt with. So there we go. So I'm just gonna get rid of all this bubble wrap, at least try to get into it. There we go. What's amazing is that this entire package is just bubble wrap. So there's like no cardboard, no box, no anything, just the wrap. Okay, so there we go. Let's see if I can just pull it out. There we go. So ditching the plastic. Ooh, it has my name on it. It's reserved and it has nothing else. The mystery. So let's open the box. Inside, the first thing I see is just this. Hi to those who just joined. So I basically got a package in the mail from Taiwan. And so here is what came inside it. Those of you who might have seen a recent video in which I showed a pen that had this symbol on it might recognize it. If I open it, this is the symbol from the shop. This is Fine Writing International new pen with instructions in traditional Mandarin and in, actually this is probably better for you guys, in traditional Mandarin and in English. And now let's get to the good part. And so here's the pen. Let me move the light a little bit so that we can see it better. Maybe soften it up. There we go. And actually let's, oops, sorry. Let's turn it. So this is the pen. It's actually even more beautiful than I remembered it from when I saw it in the shop. So this is basically a, yeah, ooh la la, right? I'm super happy. I'm like ecstatic. This pen literally just came out like last week. So it's insane that I actually have one already in my hands. I have to thank Fine Writing Instruments for sending me this pen. They're sending it to me as a sign of friendship, as a gift, and also for review. And I am very excited to review this one because, I mean, it's insane what it represents in terms of culture and history. So basically, the pattern that you see here is actually inspired from the armor that Chinese soldiers had and that you can see in the museums in China. And it looks like it has a little bit of red, or it's probably just the brass aging differently between the ridges and outside. And the finial is actually incredible because I hope you can see it well like this. I'm putting this video afterwards on YouTube, so I'm turning it around a little bit so you get both versions. Basically, the finial is a lion biting or holding into between his teeth a sword. And the reason why this is extremely meaningful is that this is basically the warrior. So basically, the lion is holding the sword because this pen is mightier than the sword, but is also the sword of the person writing with it. Basically, what it's supposed to mean is that what you write with this pen is the message is going to be protected by the pen's power. And I think that's pretty much insane. And you just saw my cat's feet because he's just walking around my desk. Sorry about that. It's very distracting. So I'm going to open the pen. And here we have the nib. Let me see if we can catch it. There we go. It's a really beautiful gold nib, and I believe this is a medium. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's a medium nib. I love the symbol of the feather that is part of Fine Writing International's symbol, and the color is just perfectly matching the section of this pen. Also, I have to mention that the barrel is also interesting. When I was at their shop in Taipei, Mr. Lee, who is the creator behind these pens, literally took a hammer and showed how resistant this material is here. If you want to check that out, that's actually in the video that I put on YouTube showing off the shop. If you go to the very, very end, you'll see literally Mr. Lee hammering this pen. Well, not this pen, but another one of the pens with the same material. Actually, the Venus, which I also have and show off in pictures, and will probably get reviewed too. So there you have it. This is the Warrior pen, the pen to protect all your messages and make them meaningful. A pen to use when you're angry, a pen to write things that are meaningful to you. Yeah, so there you go. And of course, if we can't have a pen and not have ink in it, so I would like to ink up this pen. Let me see the instructions. It says that you should syringe the ink, but I do not have a syringe on my desk right now because I'm redoing everything, and so I'm going to use the converter this time. Though actually maybe I should just use a pipette. Hold on, I have pipettes here. Give me 1 second, please. Let me put the pen back in the box. You have the Jupiter. Oh, they're gorgeous. I have the Venus, the original brass pen in sheer brass, and now this one. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to get a pipette. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back with my pipette. There we go. So which ink should I put in this pen? I have all of these new Sailor Ink Studio inks. Do you guys have any preferences? Anything that looks tempting? In the meantime, I'm going to open the pen. Hello, Tessa. Welcome. Okay, so I'm about to ink up this pen. I'm just going to look at the instructions for a second in case. Syringe. There we go. Okay, so yes, it is definitely designed to be eyedroppered, which is interesting for a pen that has brass parts. I have not yet eyedroppered my Venus, which is ironic because that's a plastic one. But I have seen Fudefan Jacob eyedropper most of his fine writing instruments pens, so let's do the same. So, okay, purple. I'm being told purple. Well, since nobody else is saying anything, let's go with purple. 150 it is. I haven't actually tried this one other than in the shop where they had a nice little sample. So let's try it. Okay, let's open the ink. I really love these inks, by the way. And they come with this variety of paper. Sorry, I'm changing this music again. So I really love these. Because this selection is great, and I love the look of this ink already. So there we go. Let me put the box away before I get ink in it. Okay, putting the cap here. There we go. Bottle here. I'm putting the nib in the box to make sure that it's protected. Because it's not very intuitive to do this live on Instagram on my desk with the camera between my arms. There we go. Okay, I could have taken more. Okay, that's pretty much enough ink. Okay, where did I put the nib? There we go. Okay, let me see. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like having ink in the... So let me close the ink bottle before I cause an accident with a new ink bottle. And I don't like having ink on the threads because that's how accidents happen. There we go. Sorry, screwing this in. And now what I'm curious about is that usually dip the fade and pen nib in the ink. Right. Well, okay, let's go. Let's do that. Talk to you later, Rick 6. Okay, there we go. Dip it to make sure that the nib and feed are wet. And now let me grab a notebook. So, oh, there we go. First accident of the day. Cap goes here. Actually, let me cap it for a second. So this, by the way, for those of you who have not seen these yet, this is my Musubi A5 notebook. I'm putting the camera further away because otherwise you can't see the notebook. I'm pretty much going everywhere with this one just to play with it. It's not my bullet journal. It's not a useful things notebook. It's a write anything and have fun with it notebook. So I've been testing inks in it, writing quotes like the ones I'm posting recently, testing inks and nibs. This is the new Kianit du Nepal, by the way, for those of you who just saw my post today. I did a mini first impressions post on the blog. Yeah, so there you go. So, oh, butterscotch. So I also have my ink swabs in here, swatches in here. I would be corrected by a friend who's also an ink collector. And so there we go. So let's test the pen. So there you go. But I just dipped it, but there we go. Okay, I really love this nib. It's actually finer than most European mediums. I think their nibs are Jovo, but they're really well tuned and they are very careful about making sure that every single one of their pens is tested by Mr. Lee himself. And I'm really loving the results. They're super reliable, super enjoyable, and I cannot say anything but how much I love this pen right now. It's heavy in hand, but not too heavy. So I am known for having ridiculously small hands. Let me grab something standard to give you an idea. So this is a platinum pen, okay, just to show you the length. And look at everything that is sticking out in the back here. My hands are very, very, very small. And also this might be a good idea just to compare the size of the pen. Let me compare it with, what do I have here? I'm basically just taking out pens that I have in the drawer on my desk, or let me open my, so this is my Noko Brasstown, which is kind of full. So a few known pens to give you an idea. There we go. Okay, so smaller. This is against an M600. Okay, it's longer, heftier also. Against a Momento Zero by Leonardo, it's more or less the same length. And against a platinum pen, this is actually longer capped. I'm going to compare them uncapped in a second. And against a Visconti Rembrandt. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the length. Now uncapped, however, I think the difference is not as big. So, oh, actually it still is. This is a very long pen, actually. So this is a quite long pen, but you don't notice it when I don't notice it when I'm handling it, because it's really well balanced. So it's actually really nice. It feels really nice in the hand, and yeah, it's enjoyable because the back is right at this point in my hand. I don't feel the extra weight. It just feels natural, and it actually flows really nicely. And something that I really like about Leonardo pens is that it really feels like writing with a feather. So there you have it. This is the very, very latest fine writing international pen. It looks gorgeous. I am super excited by this one, and yeah, it's now starting to be available in shops. I know that at least in Europe there is I think they're called Right Now or Right Time. There's a British. I'll put the link in YouTube when I post this, or on my blog when I post this. There in the UK there's a shop, but especially for those in the EU, Fontoplumo has mentioned to me, because I was trying to see where we could get this in Europe, and Fontoplumo will just start to carry these pens very shortly. So keep your eye on Fontoplumo if you want to get one of these, or you can contact Fine Writing International and ask them who might be carrying these pens near you, depending on what country you're in. So there you go. That's about it. This is a full test a first impression of this gorgeous fine writing international pen. I need to really thank the two Mr. Lees for sending me this amazing pen. I am extremely thankful for it, and I will be posting more about it very, very soon. So there you go. And let's do this again sometime very soon. Bye.